Hello underclass and welcome to our lesson on Wednesday the 19th of January 2021. So let's see what we're going to be doing today. So our lesson for today is to write your final hot task, which is exciting because you've been doing so much work around the hot task, so much planning, so much preparation, so much practice that we're really going to finally allow you to write your hot task. So let's see what you are going to need for today's lesson. So it says, today will be your final independent write. Please make sure that you try and find somewhere quiet to do this and make sure that you are laying your work out neatly and remembering everything that needs to be included in the instructions. So here is a brief summary of the things that we have when we write instructions. So you will need a title, which will be how to take over the school. You will need to have paragraphs. You will need to have subheadings. You will need to use a list. You will need to use steps. You can use diagrams, which is like pictures. You will need to write in the second person's point of view. You will need to use imperative verbs or bossy verbs as you also know them. You will also need to use adverbs of time, chronological order, technical vocabulary, bullet points, and rhetorical questions. So these are just a reminder of the things that you're going to need to make sure that you use. Now, I would really advise you all to go back to the work that you've been doing over the last 2 weeks to really see how to make sure you're incorporating all of these things within your writing today. So don't just rely on your plans that you've made this week, but also rely on your actual work that you've been doing in English as well. So this I will leave on the screen and I will give you a chance to pause the screen so I won't move to the next slide too quickly. So this support mat can help you with your writing. So there are just some ideas on here of what to include. So if I was you, when I'm writing my hot task, I would pause on this screen and then use your own plan to then begin your writing. This will just help you so you can see the layout. If you start to forget, you can remind yourself of the title, remind yourself of your subheadings, remind yourself of how to lay out your instructional writing. There's a list of some imperative or bossy verbs over here. There's a list of adverbs here. There's a list of vocabulary words for the English text. And there's useful adverbs of time here. All of these things will be able to aid your writing. And I definitely think that you should make sure you try and use this to help. So when you have finished your writing, here are the things that I would like you to do. So when you've written your instructions, I want you to check that you have punctuated your sentences with full stops and capital letters for all proper nouns. Have you used a title and a subheading, an introduction, a list of things that you will need, and step-by-step instructions? If you have, give that a tick. If you haven't, you can go back and add these things in, but I really try not to do that. Have you used numbered bullet points to make your order clear? Have you used imperative or bossy verbs and adverbs? Have you made use of good adjectives, adverbs, or time and technical vocabulary? Have you used conjunctions or adverbial phrases to join two ideas together? Have you punctuated your fronted adverbials? And have you included a diagram or illustration? So this is just your checklist to go over once you finished your writing. Now remember, when you finished carrying out your writing today, don't go back to this piece of or to this checklist, sorry. Don't go back to this checklist until you've actually read it through. So complete your writing, proofread it, then come to this checklist and then go through it and check that you've got these things. So here are your 3 instructions for today's lesson. So the first task for you to complete is to write your work out neatly of your final set of instructions. Task number 2 is to read through your instructions and make sure you have the correct spellings and layout. And task number 3 is draw your illustration and capture it. So there are your activities for today. I wish you all the best for writing your hot task. Really take your time, really show that you've learned all of these skills and show that in your writing. That's all from me today, guys. I will see you in tomorrow's lesson. Bye, everyone.